All right, burgeoning viewers, one quick note for you. A subscriber a day in October. If we hit 31 subscribers in 31 days, one lucky subscriber will walk away with the entire Modern Horizons art card series. Additionally, a comment a day. Any subscriber that leaves a comment in every video posted by MTG Burgeoning during the month of October will become eligible for the November Pack Wars. On November 1st, a list of all subscribers that left a comment on every MTG Burgeoning video during the month of October will be compiled, and from this list, one subscriber will be randomly chosen to participate in the November Pack Wars. So hope for peace, but prepare for war. Burgeoning community, welcome back. Here we are. We're back on Saturday, and we are back with Building on a Budget with Isamaru, Hound of Konda. If you missed our video the last time, you can click on the link below. It'll take you right there to give you a refresher, more of an in-depth description as to what we're trying to accomplish with Isamaru, in addition to it being a budget build. So, very quickly, Isamaru, it's a 2/2 doggy for 1 white. That's it. We're going Voltron strategy with Isamaru. And these were the first 12 cards added, considered to be the core of our white mono white commander deck. Sigarda's Aid, SRAM, Senior Edificer, Danitha Capuchin, Pure Steel Paladin, Mesa Enchantress, Open the Armory, Open the Vaults, Argivian Find, Sun Titan, All That Glitters, Hero's Blade, and lastly, Gift of Immortality. Again, this was just a quick refresher to bring the audience back up to speed as to where we left off. You can click on the link below to get more of an in-depth description of these first 12 cards. All right, so the next 12 cards were to be equipment spells, and since we were on a budget, we were looking for 12 total equipment that came in under $10, preferably each equipment being less than $1, and no equipment being $2 or higher. So let's take a look at the 12 equipment selected for this deck. Number 1, Grafted Wargear. Casting cost of 3, equip cost is 0, which is very important. Equip creature gets +3/+2, and whenever Grafted Wargear becomes unattached from a creature, we sacrifice that creature. As we are building a Voltron strategy with our commander, unequipping Grafted Wargear from our commander seems like something that we would not be doing with any kind of marked frequency. And an equip of 0 to give Isamaru +3/+2 every time he's in play. This is too good of a card to pass up, and it's definitely equipment spell number 1 to be added to this deck after the first 12. Because the very first equipment spell was Hero's Blade. So Grafted Wargear for the next 12, that's number 1. Staying on that theme, number 2 is Ronin War Club. Again, for a casting cost of 3, we have an equipment that buffs Isamaru or any of our other creatures +2/+1. Now, that equip cost of 5, we are never paying that. And the reason for that is that whenever a creature comes into play under our control, we attach Ronin War Club to that creature. So we get the War Club onto our battlefield, we cast Isamaru, or we cast one of our other creatures, and we equip the War Club to that creature. So if we have Grafted Wargear and Ronin War Club, and we cast Isamaru for the 4th time in the game, it comes into play as a 2/2. the Ronin War Club equips to him automatically, making him a 4/3, and then we slap on the grafted war gear, and now he's a 7/5. All right, that was number 2, the Ronin War Club. Number 3, Blackblade Reforged. It costs 2 to cast, and it gives equipped creature +1/+1 for each land we control. We equip it to a legendary creature for 3, or we equip it to a non-legendary creature for 7. Similar to Ronin War Club, we are never paying 7 for that equip cost. Equipping 3 onto Isamaru or any of the other legendary creatures that are in our deck or will be included in the deck is the goal of including Blackblade Reforged. +1/+1 for each land we control. Very, very powerful equipment. Staying on theme with a creature getting +1/+1 for a particular number of lands on the battlefield, we come to Stratascythe. Costs 3 to cast and 3 to equip, and it has the imprint mechanic. When Stratascythe enters the battlefield, we search our library for a land card, exile it, then shuffle your library, or shuffle our library. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each land on the battlefield with the same name as the exile card. For the purposes of this deck, we're searching for and exiling a plains to imprint onto Stratascythe. And maybe we'll get lucky and there'll be some other plains on the battlefield. Now, understanding that it could be a shock, it could be a triome, it just has to have plains. Is that right? On the battlefield with the same name? No, probably not. Okay, scratch that. Hopefully the other opponents have some basic planes in play, because we'll have a lot of them. Stratascythe acts as a slightly less efficient, less powerful version of Blackblade Reforged, but for the purposes of this deck, it still warrants its inclusion by being a monstrous power toughness buff. All right, so we hit the 33% mark. We're 1/3 of the way done. Number 5 is the Luxodon Warhammer. Similar to Stratascythe, it costs 3 to cast and 3 to equip. Any equipped creature gets +3/+0, trample, and lifelink. Not bad to, trample over those chump blockers, get to our opponents, give the opponents lethal commander damage, and the life gain is a nice added feature as well. All right, number 6. Helm of the Gods. Casting cost of 1, equip 1. Very, very efficient. Very economically costed this equipment is. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each enchantment we control. We are going to have enchantments in this deck. We are going to have a bevy of auras in this deck. If we got a couple of them on the battlefield, if we have some of them on any number of our creatures, then Helm of the Gods is going to be an amazing value for equipping just 1. I think it's worth the risk to include, and we're going to give it a whirl. We'll keep our eye on it, and we'll see what happens. Next up, Mirror Shield. This is equipment number 8. Number 7, my mistake. Number 7. Yep, number 7. Mirror Shield. 2 to cast and 2 to equip. Equipped creature gets +0/+2 and has hexproof. And whenever a creature with Death Touch blocks or becomes blocked by this creature, destroy that creature. I don't know how much we're going to utilize the second ability of Mirror Shield. The equipping 2 for hexproof is the reason why we're including this equipment into this into the top 12 equipment spells for this deck list. There are not many equipment that give our creatures hexproof. Swiftfoot Boots, but that's outside of the realm of our cap of our cash flow for this particular subset of cards. Champion's Helm is way outside of our budget, and there is a ring, but we have to tap 2 in order to provide the hexproof. It's not a static, always having ability as long as the creature is equipped by it. I think it's the Ring of Evu's Isle, I think that one is. And the only other one is Mask of Avacyn, but Mask of Avacyn is a little more mana intensive, and Mirror Shield is not. So although we lose out on the +2/+1 the power buffing that Mask of Avacyn provides, we still have the hexproof bumping our defense, and it's costing us economically less mana, Mirror Shield is, than Mask of Avacyn. All right, so number 8. We're going back to original Zendikar for this equipment. Trailblazer's Boots. For 2 to cost and 2 to equip, equipped creature has non-basic land walk. How many times have you sat down to the commander table and played with somebody that has nothing but basic lands? My guess is going to be not many times at all. Everyone has non-basics in their deck unless it's a specific basic deck for the purposes of rolling out basic lands. And even then, the temptation of including Command Tower and a couple of other ones may just be too enticing to pass up. So we'll make them pay by putting Trailblazer Boots on our commander and swing in for some quote-unquote unblockable commander damage. Speaking of unblockable, let's stick with the theme of unblockable, casting cost of 2, and equip cost of 2, and introduce Prowler's Helm. Equipped creature can't be blocked except by walls. Yes, there may be the occasional wall out there, but unless we're running Arcades or a specific wall deck or something that's themed with walls, walls are going to be as rare as winter roses. So let's make our creature unblockable by making sure that it can only be blocked by walls. Okay, that is Prowler's Helm. We are down to our last 3. All right, let's check out this spell, and you tell me the unbelievable power of Haunted Cloak. Casting cost of 3, equip just 1. Equip 1, equipped creature has Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. Haste is going to be very important for us because we want Isamaru to come down and we want to be able to attack the same turn. The longer Isamaru sits, suffering from summoning sickness, the more vulnerable and susceptible to removal it is, especially if it's sorcery speed board wipes or anything like that. So including some equipment that gives our doggy some haste, particularly Trample and Vigilance too, extremely valuable. Was shocked that Haunted Cloak was able to fit into the budgetary constraints that we set in last video. All right, very similar to Haunted Cloak, we have Chariot of Victory. Converted mana cost of 3 with an equip of 1. An equipped creature has First Strike, Trample, and Haste. So we took Haunted Cloak, we swiped out the Vigilance for First Strike and kept everything else the same. Too good to include. All right, and this is it. This is number 12, the 12th equipment spell for us to include in this sublist of our Isamaru budget build, and that is going to be Fire Shrieker. Mana cost of 3, equip 2. Equipped creature has Double Strike. Now I will point out that Zephyr had suggested, one of the MTG Burgeoning subscribers, in the comments of the last video, to include Grappling Hook. And Grappling Hook is a converted mana cost of 4 and an equip of 4 to give target creature Double Strike and a pseudo-provoke ability, where if we attack, we can have target creature opponent controls block our creature if able. And after thinking about that, the 4 casting cost, the 4 equip cost is the thing that was the toughest to reconcile in my mind. Because when Isamaru comes down to invest 4 to give it Double Strike, I don't know, the pseudo-provoke ability may be valuable at times. We're running Voltron and we're building Isamaru to be huge, so I'm playing under the understanding that our opponents are going to be blocking with their creatures anyways. So in order to play as economically as possible, I thought it would be better for the overall synergy of the deck to just include the Fire Shrieker, giving our creature Double Strike at half the cost, thereby sacrificing the pseudo-provoke ability. So Fire Shrieker's in slot number 12. And there we have it, folks. Our 12 equipments at the time of the creation of this video, market price at TCG Player, $8.77. So we came in under 10. That is fantastic. So let's take those same constraints and let's go right to next week's video, 12 auras. We are looking for 12 auras. We want auras. These 12 should cost total less than $10. Preferably each aura is less than $1, and no aura should be $2 or more. And these 12 total auras, like I said, less than $10. And let's keep an eye on the converted mana costs of these auras. We want to try to prioritize auras that are 3 CMC or less so that we can take complete advantage of Sun Titan's recursive ability. This is MTG Burgeoning, folks. We are budget building Isamaru Hound of Konda. Let me know in the comment section below or over on the tappedout.net page, which 12 auras would you include for Isamaru and why? Power toughness buffing, protection, evasion, keywords. Let's build. Let's continue to build. Sorry, I do speak English. I definitely do. Let's get that 12 list. Let's get that 12 aura list and let's build Isamaru stronger. MTG Burgeoning is out. Want to become a Pack Wars combatant? 4 easy steps. Step number 1. Click on the link below in the description or go to www.buymeacoffee.com/MTGBurgeoning. Step number 2, select either membership or support. Membership will enroll you into Pack Wars for $5 each month. Support will cost $5 for 1 month. Step number 3, complete payment information. The name you use will appear on the site. Use your real name, use your YouTube handle, or use no name at all and be anonymous. Be sure to include your email address in the information. Step number 4, most importantly, prepare for war.